Guys, welcome back to Curse Only Means. We have the Monday Night Football recap video coming out today, and you might be wondering, why did my Week 2 recap just come out a couple hours ago, from when I'm recording this at least, when it should have come out yesterday. And that's because I actually uploaded it yesterday, but my internet was out, so it took forever to process. My internet got back up today, and then it uploaded. So the reason I don't talk about this game in that video is because the game hadn't even been played when that video came out. I did get to watch this video though. I've got my notes down, of course, as always. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Talk about a surprise game. The Raiders beat the Saints by 10 points, 34-24. And if I'm being honest, this is one of those games where the score doesn't really say it. The Raiders dominated, at least starting like halfway through the second quarter. The Raiders were on top for most of it. The Saints scored 10 points in the first quarter, and then really they kind of fell off. They managed to get a touchdown in the second and fourth quarter. That's what got them to 24, but still, the Raiders popped off. I mean, Derek Carr was making throw after throw. The only thing I have to say is that Josh Jacobs, he had 27 carries and he only managed to get 88 yards. He didn't look very good. The Saints' run D was holding up really, really well. They didn't allow them to get very many big run plays, but that just speaks to how well Derek Carr was playing. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 282 yards, so he had 28 completions out of 38 attempts. Drew Brees had 26 completions out of 38 attempts. Yeah, I think you're starting to see how things are going. I think a lot of this has to do with Michael Thomas being gone. Like I said last week in my predictions, I thought that Alvin Kamara would be their new receiving. As we saw in week 1, he was catching a lot of passes, and then he comes out and he is their number 1 rusher and their number 1 receiver. He gets 2 rushing touchdowns, 79 yards on 13 carries, and then receiving, he had 95 yards after 9 catches with no touchdowns. So he was really putting up all the workload there. And I feel like if they had had Michael Thomas, it probably would have been a much closer game, if not a win for the Saints. He kind of really took a big toll out of that. Drew Brees actually threw an interception there. They had just gotten the ball back. They were down. I think it was 24-17. They were like, all right, we got to come back, tie this game. And I wasn't even sitting there thinking like, oh, it's going to be one of those games where they got ahead 24-17 and then the Saints come back and win 38-24. But then no, Drew Brees comes out and throws an interception like on the 4th play, and it was just terrible from there. I mean, the Raiders, I mean, this game right here single-handedly I am now a John Gruden fan just because they were like barely into Saints territory. It was 31-24 really late in the game, and instead of punting on like 4th down and 10, he just kicks a field goal. And I don't know why. It was such a ballsy play. I'm just a fan of him now. I mean, I like coaches that make big, plays like that, and they always work out. So Daniel Carson made a 54-yard long field goal, and he basically clinched that game for them. Now the Saints, their final drive, they did manage to go far down the field in like 3 plays, but of course they were also trying to just run down the clock. So yeah, so in my opinion, I feel like, Derek Carr has got the real deal. I mean, Darren Waller was also popping off 103 yards and a touchdown in this game. They did really, really, really well, and I'm kind of excited. The Saints, they lit up the same amount of points as the Panthers, 34, and they scored 7 less points. So if you're a Panthers fan, you can feel a bit good. I know that means absolutely nothing, but still. So yeah, pretty quick video there. Don't have much to say. I might actually just keep on talking for a bit. The video is not over, but dang, I mean, Derek Carr popped off, and the Saints, they did play pretty well. They looked like a pretty good team, obviously, but it wasn't like the Saints played badly and then the Raiders just played normally. The Saints played really, really well, but the Raiders played like a team that is Super Bowl contending. If you didn't watch the game, you probably won't understand it. But they looked, if you had never seen a single NFL game before, and then you came in and watched this game, you would think that the Raiders were a Super Bowl contending team. And for all I know, they are, because they seem like really, really good. And if they keep this up, they're going to go places. They're 2-0, undefeated. And we'll see what they can do next week. So yeah, if you're a Saints fan, don't feel bad. This is just kind of like the Raiders taking off. I know that might not seem too good, but your rushing defense did pretty good, and your offense, they were doing, the Saints offense was doing really, really well, especially towards the beginning of the game. It was just the Raiders defense was always holding them like just outside of field goal range. So it wasn't a completely dominant performance by the Raiders, but it was still like really, really, it was a really good game by the Raiders. You should probably find some way to either rewatch this on like NFL Game Pass or watch like highlights or something. Like the Raiders are just, they look so great this game. I don't know why I keep on telling you this, but I feel like people are going to think that it's one of those games where like a bad team beats a good team because the good team underperforms. And the Saints in no way underperformed. I guess maybe their passing defense did, but still, that was really the only part. Their secondary maybe. And Drew Brees also, he was a bit inaccurate. But I mean, the Raiders, man, they were amazing. I don't know how many different ways I can say this. In my week 3 power rankings, expect them to be pretty high up there. So yeah, Raiders get this win. They go 2-0. Saints lose. They are still on top of their division, though. They are still the 3rd seed in the NFC playoffs as of now, right above Washington, and right below, I think, the Packers. So yeah. That's that. Now the video is over. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm really glad that I'm really glad for all the support I've been getting on my recent videos. We're almost to 100 subs, which would be insane. Let me know what I should do for 100 subs, because I don't know. Should I do something? Should I just keep on rolling until maybe I hit like 1,000 subs if I ever do, and then do something celebratory? But I mean, we've still got a lot of weeks left in this NFL season, and I have a feeling things are going to get big. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you're new. We do Monday night recaps, Thursday night recaps, weekly recaps every Monday. I'm a Washington fan, so every Sunday I'll sit down and I'll rant about the Washington game, and then I'll go over it like rationally that Monday. So if you hate Washington, just don't watch that video. And I'm also going to like do a separate video, probably tomorrow actually, like preparing you guys for the Washington game, just so you know I can just sit down and talk about Washington, because I get on my family's nerves just sitting there, or my friends' nerves just sitting there and talking about football. I don't know any football fans, and it sucks. But yeah, please go. And we also do power rankings and predictions. We have all kinds of stuff coming out every single day except for Friday. So yeah, and if something big happens on Friday, I'll post about it. But still, yeah, and in my description, this is a long plug. In my description, we have Twitter, Instagram. I'd be so grateful if you went ahead and follow those. I have a Patreon. I'm trying to start a podcast so I can just kind of sit down and just rant about football. Maybe get somebody on there to talk about football with me. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, that would be amazing if you guys would ever want to do that. But thank you. I hope to see you guys in the next video. In fact, I know I will see you in the next video, because I just know I will, okay? Because you better, or else.